And joining me now are my guests today, but first the big questions. The Muda scam probe in Karnataka. Is this now the biggest embarrassment the Congress has suffered in a long while there? Siddaramaiah's chief ministerial post, is it now on the razor's edge? Is the Congress divided over Siddaramaiah's continuance? Or is the BJP fishing in troubled waters? Will the knives now be out for Siddaramaiah? Some of the questions I will raise. Tuin Sinha is BJP spokesperson. Chatashib Shivanna is the Congress spokesperson. I appreciate both of you joining me on that face-off today. Mr. Shivanna, the fact is that Mr. Siddaramaiah went to the court hoping that the court would stay any attempt made to allow an investigation to be carried out into the alleged land deals. The governor had given permission and Siddaramaiah went against it. The court has refused. Given the situation now that an investigation will take place into these land allotments, should the Chief Minister not step aside till the investigation is complete?
Rajdeep, I would start off by saying that adversity is the first path to the truth. And I've been fortunate to have represented the Honorable Chief Minister in this particular case. I shared close circles with legal luminaries, and I can affirm to you that this is not a case or a situation that warrants the resignation of the Honorable Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Although we accept the decision of the learned single judge today, but on a bare perusal, on a prima facie reading, I can point out at least 10 irregularities or infirmities only on facts. Apart from conjecture, surmises, and speculation, not a single shred of evidence that points to the culpability of the Chief Minister, in the alleged offences. The order of the governor, Rajdeep, was twofold. We were challenging the validity.
Are you saying, therefore, that until an FIR... No, just a minute. Are you saying, Mr. Shivanna, that until an FIR is filed, if at all, the Chief Minister... What if tomorrow an FIR is filed? Based on this, on the investigation being allowed to go ahead, is that reason for him to step down? At what stage do you believe Mr. Siddaramaiah's position could become untenable?
No, firstly, I would like to state that, we are challenging the validity of the order of the Honorable Governor. And this order was twofold. One, he granted prior approval to investigate under Section 17A. Two, he granted sanction to prosecute under Section 218 of the BNSS. It was only during the course of the proceedings of the Honorable Court that the Solicitor General submitted that the order of the Governor is erroneous insofar as it concerns, this prosecution or sanction to prosecute. Now, see, we are at a very primitive stage. Now, the High Court has clarified that this order must only be viewed as a prior approval to investigate. Now, it is for the investigating agencies to decide whether they want to investigate, they don't want to investigate. This is a matter that they will adjudicate on. And secondly, there is also an unnumbered PCR pending before the special judge. They will only use this approval granted by the governor to, and then seek a direction to either refer it for investigation or not. Now, the learned special judge may say that this case does not warrant registration of an FIR.
Yeah, I'll come to that as to whether an investigation can take place truly independently when you're investigating the sitting Chief Minister. But Tuin Sinha, what's interesting about this case is the alleged land allotment, which is claimed to be a sign of corruption, was done when the BJP was in power. The 50-50 scheme was brought in when the BJP was in power. That illegally acquired land by the Mysore Urban Development Authority. In return for that, compensation was given. Now, the charge is Siddaramaiah's wife got disproportionate compensation, but it was given by the BJP government. You were in power in 2020. So, it appears almost that the BJP is now saying it's corruption. When you were in power, you were the one who actually sanctioned this land, which was allotted as compensation to Siddaramaiah's wife.
Well, good evening, Rajdeep. Good evening, everybody. It has been 9 hours since the judgment of the High Court has come out, and I don't know what is more embarrassing, whether it is, the scathing indictment of Siddaramaiah ji, or whether it is the, the complete indifference of the Congress party, which makes it seem that, self-aggrandizement and loot is their birthright. Now, I just want to selectively read two portions, just two paragraphs from the judgment today, just to establish and to reinforce the quantum of the misuse of power and the conflict of interest over here. When it comes to your question of the BJP government, allotting it, obviously the fact that Siddaramaiah had used his wife, had used her to buy this property was not known until 2018. In fact, he first disclosed it in his affidavit in 2018. It was missing in the affidavit in 2013. So in many ways, it was a Benami transaction on his part. Now, just to reinforce the judgment, a few lines from the judgment to establish the quantum of the misuse, it is rather difficult to accept that the beneficiary of the entire transaction to which compensation is determined is 3.56 lakhs to become 56 crores is not the family of the petitioner. How and why the rule was bent in favor of the family of the Chief Minister is what is required to be investigated. And therefore, once the investigation takes place, it will be established the kind of chicanery which Siddaramaiah's family has indulged in by not naming the property in his affidavit. Now, again, another part of the judgment makes it very clear of the angle of undue benefit.
Property,
not a single instance is shown where a person...
Mr. Tuhin Sinha, we must be clear. Mr. Tuhin Sinha, we must use our language carefully. There's no indictment as yet of Mr. Siddaramaiah. There is permission given to start an investigation. My question to you was, what was your BJP government in Karnataka doing between 2020 and 23? Compensation was given not just to Siddaramaiah's wife, it was given to BJP.
No, there are cases which have,
Mysore. It seems to me that when the BJP was in power, they never raised a red flag. It has taken three anti-corruption activists to raise a red flag in a case where both the BJP and Congress leaders are allegedly involved.
No, these strict timelines don't apply to these cases. You would recall when the Fodder case first came out and when Lalu Yadav was eventually convicted. All of these investigations take time. Fact is that, and I was reading another part of the judgment, fact is, maybe the use of the word indictment is not correct over here, but fact is that the role of Siddaramaiah is untenable, and that is precisely why the go-ahead for the prosecution is given. Not a single instance is shown where a person who has relinquished land in Kesare Gram has been granted compensatory land in the upscale area of Mysore city. Why this privilege for Siddaramaiah's family? Obviously, there was misuse of power by him
but
and by his
granted by your own BJP government.
Which needs to be investigated. And why it is untenable.
No, Mr. Sinha, I agree with you, but it was granted by your own BJP government of Basavaraj Bommai. Earlier, Yediyurappa, then Basavaraj Bommai.
That is because he had not disclosed. He had not disclosed the fact that he owned this piece of land, which first came to the fore only in 2018 or 2019 affidavit. It was hidden by him. No,
well, that's not exactly. Well,
you seem to be challenging the High Court verdict today. You seem to be, let me just answer the moot question over here, why it is untenable for Siddaramaiah to continue, because this judgment paves the way for an FIR, and the same people who will be investigating the case will be reporting to Siddaramaiah, which would make it another big conflict of interest. And therefore, it is important for him to stay, to opt out
that's a very
and
good
follow
point.
The example of others.
That's a very good point you make. Okay, Mr. Sinha, you make a very good point, which Mr. Shivanna, you should answer. The fact is, an investigating agency which will investigate now, as per the court ruling, is the same agency which reports into the Chief Minister. That's where the problem comes. That's where Siddaramaiah's position may have to be reviewed by the Congress party. How do you allow an investigation by an agency which is into the Chief Minister when that same agency reports also into the Chief Minister?
I would say registration of an FIR or investigation into this matter is a far-fetched idea, and we are at a very primitive stage as of now. Now, the Honorable High Court has only upheld the order of the governor that has granted prior approval to investigate. Now, it is for the investigating agencies to decide whether they want to investigate or not. We must let them adjudicate it. There's also another matter pending before the special judge. One second,
how do they investigate their own Chief Minister?
I'll just finish. There is also an unnumbered PCR pending before the special court, wherein all these private complainants are seeking for investigation either by the Lokayukta or the CBI. Now, firstly, the special court must decide whether this case warrants an investigation or not. The Honorable Governor has only lifted the bar under 17A, but it is the the judicial mind of the special court to decide whether this matter must be referred for investigation or not, and that is, we are yet to see that. Now, if it is referred to the Lokayukta, it is an independent institution, and if it is referred to the CBI, then you know what the outcome would be. But at this stage, the CM, there is no possibility of him resigning or anything of that sort.
Okay, so you're saying it's premature to call for the resignation of the Chief Minister. Final word, Tuhin Sinha. Is this a case where the BJP is hoping to fish in troubled waters? We know that the Congress in states like Karnataka is deeply factionalized. Is the BJP simply fishing in troubled waters?
Rajdeep, like I mentioned at the start, I'm surprised, I'm amused by the defiance of the Congress party. They might think it is wishful thinking and say that the FIR is far-fetched idea, but to my understanding and to the understanding of a large section of the legal community, an FIR would be the immediate next step. But why are we surprised? A similar land scam was unraveled last month, and that concerned the Kharge family. They were allotted, the trust belonging to the Kharge family was allotted land in a prime industrial area of Bengaluru. Again, the scam involving the Valmiki Tribal Land Development Corporation, the Valmiki Tribal Development Corporation, 180 crores was embezzled out. And these people, these people say other people are anti-backward. They are the people who are anti-backward. They are casting aspersions on a Dalit governor of the state.
Let's not go into Dalit governor of the state. He's a governor of the state. I don't think whether he's a Dalit or an OBC should make any difference.
They are casting aspersions.
But let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. The fact is, the Chief Minister now, it is for the Chief Minister to decide whether it is appropriate for him at the moment to continue in office. He believes it is so. It is a premature state of investigation. We leave it there. I've heard both sides of the story, and this story will continue to develop. Clearly, Mr. Siddaramaiah is, at the moment at least, on the back foot.